This is the United Uprising channel. Welcome to today's show. I've covered Economist magazine many times over the years if you follow my channel. Every single year towards the end of the year, they release a magazine cover revealing what's in store for the following year. And it's usually something that you have to decode because the common person sees these things and they don't really react. They're like, interesting artwork. And they look at it, they're like, that's interesting art. Who drew that? Let me get the name of the guy. Cool, interesting. Let me try to draw. They never look at it and realize that they're telling you because they already know what's going to come in the coming years because it's all planned. It's all scripted. And they tell you these things. They reveal stuff in magazines like this. So I wanted to cover what's coming in 2024 according to The Economist and break down the cover of their magazine. I have been asked by some people on the website. I was waiting till the end of the year to cover this now that we're headed into 2024, which is really going to be a huge year because we don't know exactly what they have planned, right? But we can look at magazine covers like this and start obviously connecting dots. But we know this isn't something where you go, hey, this is going to be a year. It's going to be crazy. You know, and people are like, I think everybody knows 2024 is going to be big. And obviously, whatever psyop and whatever false flags they have planned are going to be planned around the election. A lot of people don't even think there's going to be one. And it's not really an election anyway. It's a selection, but people will go nuts if they don't think that their fake election actually occurs. There's rumors of potential assassination. There's so many things. So let's break down the cover, okay? Let me start at the top. You obviously could see the rumors of war, the rumors of nukes. A lot of people don't even believe nukes exist. But you have four people on this cover that we need to keep an eye on, obviously. You have Zelensky and Putin and Biden and Xi Jinping. So we have China, Ukraine, Russia, and America. And obviously we know that the destruction of America is ideally what this is all about that's coming. Everything on the global stage, the world stage, is about the destruction of America. So while you see those four people, right in the middle, you see the hourglass. And what's the hourglass going right down to? It's going down to a ballot box. This is showing us that time is running out, right? Time is running out on the fake elections because eventually what this is turning into is a communist country. They're showing that to us as well, as I'll get into as I go through this. But that's the main thing that needs to be pointed out on this cover is the hourglass because time is running out on the United States of America. And they're going to do this through their fake election. That's what they're telling you right here. Through their fake election, there's going to be all sorts of stuff with the write-in ballots and the ballots rigged, etc. That narrative, they've been feeding into it since 2016. And I covered even before that fake election in 2016, how even people like Obama over the years have talked about rigged elections, okay? It's always been rigged. This even goes back, you can look at Bush versus Gore. Fake. It's all fake, okay? They've been seed planting us about rigged elections now for 20 years. A good amount of conditioning to finally do something with the election. Now, people are like, well, they just did. Well, 2016, the Democrats felt the election was rigged. And 2020, the Republicans thought it was rigged. So it works perfectly. So now they could say, well, both sides think that it's rigged one way or the other. And now we're just finding out that it's completely rigged and we need a whole new situation, a whole new structure, right? So that's what the hourglass is depicting. So if we start in the top left, we actually see a female above Zelensky and a male, obviously Donald Trump, with a question mark above Putin. Now, another thing that you see over there is a dove, right? Well, why do we see a dove? Well, we see a dove because in Christianity, the dove has many meanings, right? New beginnings, new creation, the presence of God, obviously in Genesis chapter 6 through 9, the story of the flood, right? God instructs Noah to build the ark. And of course, what do we see? At the end, we see doves flying off, right? So doves obviously have a lot of biblical undertones. And of course, they would put doves with Donald Trump because many Christians are being deceived. And whatever they have planned here is really to deceive the conservatives because the liberals are already under full mind control and so are many conservatives. But many conservatives need to be herded now. And they'll be herded with whatever ends up happening here with Donald Trump. But Donald Trump will be presented to us as some type of prophet, some type of hand-chosen person from God. You know how the alt-right's portraying him. Everybody out there who has a clue is well aware of this. So they're showing you the dove, right? The dove of Christ means salvation. The dove of David indicates peace, right? And of course, it's all linked back to Donald Trump. There will be great deceptions that come of this. So Underneath them, and of course above Zelensky, you have a female as well, which could be something involving Kamala Harris. But let's go down, because on the opposite side of Trump is a female depiction, right? So it could be something with Kamala Harris, it could be something with Michael Obama. We'll see. But below them, it's important to note that they're showing you the eclipse, because there's an eclipse that's supposedly occurring in the year 2024 on April the 8th. It's supposed to be a total solar eclipse. So they're showing you that. And there could be something tied into that with a potential false flag or a potential for that date with the eclipse. But as we continue down, you'll see on the left side, you'll see an all-seeing eye, right? Because, The Economist loves eyeballs too, failed optometrist, right? Nobody correlates how they're showing you here, right? The brain chip. They're showing you here with the brain being connected to technology, right? All these wires going through the brain. Of course, this is connecting humans with technology, transhumanism. This is what the conservative hero Elon Musk is planning on doing to society. But these people are just so herded, they think that this guy suddenly is a conservative. They could say, anybody who wakes up and says they're conservative, even the most liberal person, they go, oh, they finally came to their senses. They don't realize they're being manipulated, right? Which is why I say narcissism's deadly on both sides. Because these people don't go, oh, they're working us in any way. They can't believe that they could actually be worked, but they are being worked. So they're showing you that the brain technology is imminent, connecting human beings' brains to technology, and of course the eyeball they use, right? The all-seeing eye of Lucifer. But they'll just tell you it has something to do with your third eye. And no, they're telling you who's responsible for this type of technology. If you go all the way to the other side, mirrored to the brain technology, you see the destruction of the stock market. You see the destruction of currency, right? Because they're not just showing you these, obviously anybody who sees those, graph like that, they think of the stock market, but they're literally showing you all the currencies and the destruction of all the currencies, euro, dollar, yen, pound, all of it. And all of it seems to be going down, 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 right? So underneath that, another thing to note here, on the top, you see the eclipse. On the bottom, you see the merging of what? Blue and red, right? And it continues if you go left to right all the way across as it meets at the ballot box. They merge into one, right? The blue merges with the red and it merges into one, right? Right underneath the ballot box. So this is showing you now how Democrats and Republicans, how this is over. And this is going to merge into this communist society, this communist dictatorship that is planned. Now, it could be a dual one. It could be a dual one where it's all communism, but they continue to try to work the conservatives into thinking, well, breaking away from the Democrats, they'll be communists. We won't be under Trump. We'll still be free. They'll believe whatever they're told because they worship the ground he walks on, which is all done by design. So you can see the merging of the two parties because there won't be two parties anymore. There might be the illusion of the two, and these people might believe when this country's divided fully into two separate societies that one is communism and one's still capitalism, but it won't be. It won't be. It'll be an illusion. So they're showing you the merging of the parties. And then, of course, underneath that, you see the two parties that are really merging. You see Biden and the Democratic Party merging, right, with Xi Jinping with the Communist Chinese Party, right? Merging as one, the blue and the red. They're showing you that merger. And on the left side, of course, by Biden, what do we see? Well, we see where we have a lot of weather manipulation in the plans, right? Our wind turbines, our storm, all these symbols that they use for green energy, you'll see below as well. But they're pretty much telling us here that they're going to continue to use weather manipulation to push their green energy agenda, right? That's what you're seeing on the entire bottom half. Because on the left, you see the wind turbine, you see obviously depictions of weather manipulation. On the right side, what do you see? Electric vehicles, right? Electric vehicles, because of course they're using this entire facade of climate change, which is really geoengineering. It's them manipulating the sky. Again, look up. If you haven't recently, your sky's going to be hazy every day because, well, there's planes flying and they're leaving a little dust trail in the sky. And anybody out there with a little bit of common sense who researches cloud seeding can see that the government has the ability to manipulate the weather. And that's why the government always tells us you can't control the weather. Because they know by saying that you'll automatically dismiss hearing me say that, even though we can look at all sorts of military operations like Operation Popeye to see that they manipulate and control the weather, and they've had the ability to do it for a long time. And you can even hear people like JFK talk about it 70 years ago, however long it's been now, since he was talking about it. And people just go, oh, yeah, well, imagine how advanced it is now. Well, they ask Turkey how advanced it is, right? When they can cause earthquakes just like that and wipe out entire groups of people, entire cities, entire countries if they want to. And they will. And they will, because they can blame it on the boogeyman. They can blame it on the climate. So another thing that's interesting to note is the reflection between the hourglass. And then you see South America, right, on the bottom. And underneath it, you see Australia. So that's something to keep an eye on, as, of course, we know that reflection is a big thing in the occult, right? We know the black and white symbolism with the tiles, the reflection. Of course, we see the Washington Monument. The reason it's reflected, they use water for reflection, as above, so below, is the motto of the occult. It's the motto of Baphomet, right? So these are reflecting off of each other. All this entire image is a reflection, right? The top's a reflection of the bottom. Zelensky's reflecting with Biden. Putin's reflecting with Xi Jinping, right? The eclipse is, the sun and the moon, right, is reflecting with the blue and the red, right? You even see the merging with, you could look at the reflection of transhumanism with the brain, the brain chip connection with mixing man and technology with the destruction of the economy, because a digital currency is going to be inside of you. So you can even look at it from that perspective. And then, of course, you can see with the weather manipulation and the electric vehicles, et cetera, how they're mixed, together. So the hourglass reflecting with South America and Australia tells us there's potential for false flags to occur there as well. So those are just some of the things that I took from this. Obviously, everybody's going to have their own interpretation of it, but it's always very important to look at these things and see what they show us. Now, many people after it happens don't go back and reflect on what they've shown us, etc. But maybe this time around they will, because 2024 is going to be chaotic. I mean, anybody out there with common sense knows that it is. Now, I don't know exactly what's planned, because they could do this on whatever time schedule they want. But we know something's coming with this election, right? There's a lot of narratives around it, whether nothing's going to go smoothly. Let's put it that way. It's not just going to go, hey, Biden won fair and square, or Trump won fair and square. There's going to be chaos that comes out of it one way or the other. However the narrative is played out in the media, of course, they'll be herded whatever way they want them to be herded, the conservatives and the Democrats. So again, just to recap, you see obviously the rumors of war, the nukes with Putin and Zelensky at the top, with Trump and the dove is something to keep an eye on, with the question mark with Trump. And of course, the dove representing Christianity and peace, etc. The eclipse, transhumanism, the destruction of the stock market. The hourglass is the most important thing. Running out on our republic, even though they'll say it's a democracy, because time is ticking on America. That's what they're showing you at the ballot box. The time's up. This is expiring. This great American experiment is about to be over, as they show the merging of the red and the blue into one. And of course, we see we see Biden and Xi Jinping, right? Because we're going to see this country turn into a communist country. And of course, they can give the illusion and call whatever they want. Woke is communism, okay? So everybody who has a brain knows that that's exactly what's happening in the Democrats. It's a communist party. The conservatives are what you have to keep an eye on, because they're going to give this huge illusion that this is still capitalism, etc. But they're still going to, just like when Trump was in power, that's when we all lost free speech. It started with him in power. And nobody's going to care when people like us are still screaming about the fact that he's in power. Oh, we don't have free speech. We don't have free speech. No one's going to care, because they're going to say, what do you mean? The Daily Wire's out. Oh, Ben Shapiro's out there, right? Because they're hand-picked people to continue to lead you astray. Oh, Alex Jones will be propped back up. He's back. He's not censored anymore, right? All of your agents will be propped back up where they belong. So keep an eye on all those narratives. Of course, the weather manipulation, the green energy manipulation, as well as I find maybe the most interesting is the fact that they're showing Australia and South America, because of course all these countries are going to be brought to their knees. But specifically, we know who the big one is, who's coming down in 2024, and that's the United States of the United States of America. A reminder, if you haven't subbed yet to my backup channel, A Call for Vengeance, please do so now. It's important that more people get over there. I have to keep doing this for the people who are new to it. I have to keep building out channels because, they don't really like me here, if you haven't got the memo. So please do me a favor if you haven't yet. I'd really appreciate if you subscribed. It is linked below. And definitely check out the website if you can. It's $2.99 a month. Obviously, it helps me make more content for people to join the site, but also helps maintain the site. I have thousands of videos that are all going up over there, 1,000 already up over there. constantly uploading new content as well, archive content, so many things that you're not allowed to talk about anymore on YouTube that I can put up over there that you need to see. Okay, specifically videos about children that will be taken down within 5 seconds because the algorithm's programmed to make sure you do not mention that stuff. So that's all available on the website. And again, the forum itself is worth it. You could share anything you want with each other, share with me. Obviously, all sorts of truth is being shared on that platform as well. I love seeing stuff going on in your towns, your stores. That stuff really fascinates me. And people say, hey, look at my store. This is what's on the shelves. It would just be a book. I'd be like, hey, Mark of the Beast, crazy stuff that, I wouldn't see. Or, I'd have to go out to see it with my own eyes. It's not going to get reported anywhere. So it's great that people can share that. Obviously, here on YouTube, you can't share anything. And even links, when you try to share it, it just goes into spam. So definitely check out the website and consider becoming a member. I thank everybody for being here. All the links are listed below. God bless all of you, as always, and your families.